In the ancient city of Ur of the Chaldeans, where towering ziggurats touched the skies and the streets bustled with merchants and traders, a man named Abram lived with his family. Ur was a land of prosperity, filled with idols and gods of silver and stone. It was here that the voice of the Almighty pierced through the noise of false deities and called out to Abram, "Leave your homeland, your people, and your father's house, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse. And through you all the families of the earth shall be blessed." Genesis 12 verses 1-3. It was an unfathomable command, to leave behind everything familiar, his family, his heritage, his security, and set out for an unknown land? Yet, there was no hesitation. Abram believed in the one who had called him. At the age of 75, he gathered his wife, Sarai, his nephew Lot, and all their possessions, and they set forth into the wilderness. The journey was long and uncertain. Through arid lands and treacherous pathways, they traveled northwest to Haran, where they stayed for a time. After Terah, Abram's father, passed away, they continued southward toward the land of Canaan. The land was vast and occupied by the Canaanites, yet as Abram gazed upon the hills and valleys, the Lord appeared to him and spoke again. "To your offspring I will give this land." Genesis 12 verse 7. In response, Abram built an altar at Shechem, marking the land with worship to the one true God. He moved further, pitching his tent between Bethel and Ai, and there he built another altar, calling on the name of the Lord. His faith was strong, but the tests had only just begun. A severe famine gripped the land, and the promised land seemed barren. Abram made a decision. He led his household to Egypt, where the Nile's waters still nourished the land. But fear crept into his heart. Sarai, his wife, was beautiful, and Abram feared that the Egyptians would kill him to take her. "Say that you are my sister, so that it may go well with me because of you," he told her. Just as he feared, Sarai was taken into Pharaoh's palace, and Abram received great wealth: sheep, cattle, and servants. But the Lord was not blind to this deception. Plagues struck Pharaoh's household, revealing the truth. Furious, Pharaoh summoned Abram. "Why did you lie to me? Take your wife and leave." Though Abram left Egypt with wealth, his actions showed that faith must be tested in both abundance and adversity. Back in Canaan, Abram and Lot prospered, their flocks multiplying. But with abundance came strife. The land could not sustain them both, and their herdsmen quarreled. Seeking peace, Abram told Lot, "Let there be no strife between us. If you go to the left, I will go to the right. If you go to the right, I will go to the left." Lot, seeing the lush Jordan Valley, chose the land near Sodom, a city steeped in wickedness. After Lot departed, God reaffirmed his promise to Abram. "Look around you, north, south, east, and west. All the land you see, I will give to you and your descendants forever." Not long after, war broke out. 5 kings of the region, including the king of Sodom, fell to the invading armies of Chedorlaomer. Lot and his household were taken captive. When Abram heard of this, he armed 318 trained men from his household and pursued the enemy as far as Dan. With a daring night attack, he struck down the invaders and rescued Lot, along with all the captives and spoils. Upon his return, a mysterious figure approached him, Melchizedek, the king of Salem and priest of God Most High. He brought bread and wine and blessed Abram, saying, "Blessed be Abram by God Most High, creator of heaven and earth. And blessed be God Most High, who delivered your enemies into your hand." In gratitude, Abram gave Melchizedek 1/10 of all he had. But the king of Sodom also approached, offering riches, which Abram refused. "I have lifted my hand to the Lord, that I will take nothing from you, lest you say, 'I have made Abram rich.'" This was a defining moment. Abram's trust was not in the wealth of men but in the promise of God. Years passed and still Sarai was barren. Doubt settled in. Could the promise of descendants truly come to pass? One night, the Lord took Abram outside and said, Look up at the heavens and count the stars, if indeed you can count them. So shall your offspring be. And Abram believed. God then sealed his covenant. In a vision, Abram saw a dreadful darkness as God revealed the future. His descendants would be enslaved for 400 years, but would come out with great possessions. Then, a smoking firepot and a blazing torch passed between sacrificed animals, symbolizing God binding himself to his promise. But Sarai, in impatience, gave her servant Hagar to Abram, and she bore a son, Ishmael. Yet this was not the child of promise. At age 99, God appeared again. Abram's name was changed to Abraham, father of many nations, and Sarai became Sarah. The Lord promised that within a year she would bear a son. Sarah laughed, but God declared, "Is anything too hard for the Lord?" Meanwhile, Sodom's wickedness had reached its peak. Abraham pleaded with God to spare the city if 10 righteous were found. But there were none. Fire and brimstone rained down, and only Lot and his daughters escaped. Soon after, Sarah bore a son, Isaac, the son of promise. The laughter of disbelief became laughter of joy. But faith must be tested. Take your son, your only son, Isaac, whom you love, and sacrifice him as a burnt offering. With a heavy heart, Abraham obeyed. Isaac carried the wood up Mount Moriah, unaware of what was to come. As Abraham lifted the knife, the angel of the Lord called out, "Do not lay a hand on the boy." A ram was provided in Isaac's place, and the Lord reaffirmed his covenant. Because you have obeyed, your descendants will be as numerous as the stars. Abraham lived to see Isaac grow. He arranged his son's marriage to Rebekah, ensuring the covenant continued. At 175 years old, he breathed his last, and his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah. But Abraham's story did not end with his death. His faith paved the way for the ultimate fulfillment in Jesus Christ, the promised blessing to all nations. His journey was one of obedience, trials, and unwavering trust in